Hello, happy Children's Day. Welcome to the SKS DIY fashion class. My name is Funke Adepoju. I'm the creative director of Funke Adepoju, or as some of you know it, Funke Freak. I'm going to be teaching you a few DIY hacks and tricks that you can do while you are at home. Stay tuned and enjoy. So the first thing we'll be doing today is funkifying an old t-shirt. So the first thing you are going to do, just cut a strip of the fabric. It doesn't matter, you don't have to have precise measurements. However you do it, you just want to make the t-shirt look funky. Okay, so let's start. So we have this scrap. So what we'll be doing is we'll be attaching this to it. So see, it already looks different. So it's better to use glue, but have an adult with you, and when you're using the scissors, make sure you have an adult to make sure that you don't make a mess and you don't glue your fingers together. You can have it without the excess, or you can have it with the excess, depending on what you want. So what we'll be doing now is attaching the glue. So just take a bit. Make sure that you don't tip it over, because if you do, then you have too much glue and it'll be difficult to manage. So glue this. Just put the glue on the sides, just the edges, that's all you need. This is Yoo-hoo glue, but you can typically use it for anything. You can use it for wood, you can use it for clothes. So just put it on the edges to make sure that you don't have too much. So just all around the edges. That's where you want to use it. So you see, and when you're using it, you don't press hard on it, because if you press hard, then you get too much out and the whole t-shirt is messed up. So you have put some glue there. Some more. And then we put just a bit at the base. Just a bit here. See, we don't have glue everywhere. We haven't made a mess. You leave for a few minutes to dry. Okay. And voila, you have your t-shirt with a new design on it. It's as simple as that. You can use any t-shirt that's cotton, it should be fine. And because we didn't have a lot of glue, it didn't smudge or pour on it didn't make the back stick together. So, and that's it, your new sequin top. So we're going to be funkifying yet another t-shirt, but it's a different way this time. So just take an old t-shirt that you have again, or a new t-shirt. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding fringe to the sleeves. We'll be cutting the sleeves. So remember to always have an adult with you when you're using a pair of scissors so you don't cut yourself. So we will be cutting the sleeves. This is very easy to do at home. You just need to get an adult to help you. So we cut off the sleeves. Okay. Looks like a simple sleeveless t-shirt. And then we're going to take the fringe. So we're just taking it out, it's in a roll. Okay, so we're going to double it so that the sleeves are fuller. Typically you should measure with a tape measure, but you can do it without if you don't have one at home. So we'll just kind of use this to measure. Just use what you have just to measure to make sure that you don't cut too much. So from here, we can kind of see that we're good. So we'll cut this and put this aside and just take the same measurement. Do this here again, double it here. And cut it. Make sure it's the same measurement so you don't have one sleeve, one fringe sleeve hanging down and the other one is hanging up. You look funny and your friends will laugh at you. They won't think that looks cool. So this is it here. We've measured it and it's the same. So see? So this is it. It's a long strip, but we've doubled it so that we can have some fullness on the sleeve. So this is it. Same thing for this one. And we're going to attach it to the sleeve. Okay? So remember, you need some pins as well to put the things in place so that it's easy for you when you are stitching it, so it's not moving around. So you pin here to kind of give you a visual and let you see how it's going to look by the time it's done. So you can do this. And we can do that on the other sleeve as well. Make sure you're careful so that the pins don't prick your finger, because you don't want to stain the t-shirts and you don't want to be in pain because you won't be able to make any more t-shirts. Okay, so see, we're going to stitch this now, but you can already see that the t-shirt looks a bit more interesting than what it was before. So threading a needle can be a bit difficult. You can get an adult to help you. See? So just take what you need, or take however you can manage it. Okay. Because sometimes when you put the thread and it's too long, it tends to get tangled quickly. So don't take too much. It's okay for it to finish and then you can get some more and finish and get some more, as opposed to when it's tangled, because you'll be frustrated and then you don't want to do it anymore. Tie a knot at the end. So we're going to start stitching. Okay, so what you can do as well to make it look a bit more funky is that as it is, you can pull it a bit so it has a bit of gathers. So it's a bit gathered on the sleeves. So just stitch it normally, but just pull it. If you pull it, then it has a bit of gathers, and so it makes your sleeves look a bit more interesting than just stitching. So you'll see the finished product in a minute. Don't remove your pin even when you finish stitching, just in case you need to rearrange something. Okay, so we're done with this sleeve. And now we'll gather it a bit. So see, when it's gathered, the sleeves look a bit more interesting. So it's up to you. You can either leave straight like this, or you can gather it a bit to give it that extra pizzazz, so that it looks like it's finished even more interestingly. Okay, so you finish your last seam. So after you're done, you finish it this way, and yeah. Okay. So this sleeve is done. Okay, so we're going to quickly do the second sleeve. Okay, it's very easy. So take it all the way. Just simple stitches. You take it from there and you continue. And then we finish our seam here. Okay. Okay, don't forget to take out your pins. See, our shirt is ready. So there you have it, our white t-shirt that was plain with plain boring sleeves. Now has this funky green fringe sleeves that when we wear, we can sway all around and it'll look a lot more fun and cooler than it was before. Now I'm going to be teaching you how to make an apron. The apron you can use when you're playing with slime so you don't make a mess all around. You can also use it when you're painting. So you fold the sleeves like this. This will help you get the shape you're trying to cut. So just fold the sleeves and make sure that it's parallel with the color of the shirts. And then you just cut right through. Okay. So you have this shape. What you want to do next is you're going to cut it on the sides. Just follow the seam. It's fine, it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, you're using it to protect yourself from slime or other, and it's washable anyway. So you cut it, have the back off, and then you just trim it around the neck. Okay, let's put this aside. Don't throw away your sleeves, you're going to need them. So make sure that this is what you have. The back is not there, so there's no back. And then what you need the sleeves. What you're going to do is just cut the edge of the sleeve. And you do that for this as well. This, you cut in half. So it becomes a shape like this. And this you cut in half as well. So this is a shape that you should have. What we're going to do with this now, you have to stitch it on the wrong side, because if you stitch it on the right side, this is going to be our belt that we're going to use to hold our apron. If you stitch it on the right side, by the time you do this, you have the back, because this is what is going to be showing at the back. This is the back. So instead, you stitch it on the wrong side, here, and you stitch it here as well. You put it at the edge of where the triangle or where the slant stops is where you start it. Remember, it's on the wrong side. So this is what we're going to do. So the stitching doesn't even have to be, it's up to you. It doesn't have to be extra neat. It doesn't have to be perfect the first time. By the next time you try it, practice makes perfect. It will be perfect. See, and we're done. Just remember, create the bubble or create the hole and put the needle back inside. And we've locked it. So that's done. We have this here, so we'll stitch the other side. So it's good to have pockets because then you can use them to put your pen or your extra supplies or your paint brushes. So make sure that the thread, the part with the knot, starts at the back. Okay. Okay, so we're done with this. Okay. This is basically what we have achieved. An apron. That's it, our apron's ready. Now I'm going to be showing you how to make a tutu skirt. A tutu skirt that you can wear for ballet or you can wear to a party. So I'm going to be showing you. Tulle you don't need to stitch because the edges will stay the way they are. You just maybe need to trim when we're done and we're sure about the length. So the first thing we're going to do now is we're going to cut as neatly as possible. We're going to cut the edge, leggings or whatever. So we're using leggings today. We're going to cut round as neat as possible because this is what we're going to use as the band of our tutu skirt. So this is all we need for the skirt. So if you see, it's elastic so that we can build our skirt around it. What you're going to do is you take the tulle, the strip, just kind of scrunch it up together, fold it, take your band, put this inside and do this. Make sure that they're on the same level. So that's it. You take, usually if you want to, you can make your strip smaller depending on how full you want it to be. So we're going to take another strip. We'll do 2 strips of each color. Then we take. So don't make the mistake of doing this. If you do this, then you can't really, there's no. So what you want to do is to take this, fold it in half. So you have to do this all the way around. So we'll alternate the colors. But you see, we have to be careful because the elastic will keep stretching. So let's put one more color. Or measure the person who's wearing it. If this fits them already, then all you need to do is just stitch this a bit. So we'll go to our needle and thread. We'll do this. We'll stitch this together because we've now gotten our skirts. We're going to make our bubble at the end again so that we can finish off our stitching. So you just take the needle back in and remember the hole, you stick the needle back inside the hole. That extra fortifying, okay? And then we cut it. But you don't want to be walking about with your skirts with the thing sticking out, the seam. So what you do is loosen the last one a bit, stick it inside, see? And our skirt is done. That's our tutu skirt. Now I'm going to be teaching you how to make scrunchie or hair ruffle or just to pack your hair. So we're going to be making one with a bow. So the scrunchie will be able to hold the hair, but it will also have a bow sticking out. First of all, we're going to make the bow that we're going to use for the scrunchie. Okay, so I want a big bow. So let's cut this way. How big? Okay, so there's no precise measurement. It just depends on how big or small you want your bow to be. So it's pretty easy. You have to stick this together. So you fold the fabric in two. And then, so this is what we're trying to do. This is our bow, but I'll show you what to do. So we'll stitch it together. Let's get our, so let's do the pins first so that our stitching is precise. So this is the fabric. You fold it on one side, you fold it on the other side, and then you pin it. So you pin it. So this is the shape that you should be having, like this. So this is the back, that's why they're not starting on this side. Okay, we're going to create big stitches. Okay. Remember, don't remove your pins until you're done so that your pins can still guide you. So, since we're done, we can take out our pins. So that's that. So this is the bow. To make it look a bit more professional, what we'll do, so we'll just cut a little strip and just put it over it. So we're going to do this to make our bow look more professional. Yeah. So we have our bow. You can always hide all the ones flying around inside. You can use your scissors to tuck it in, so it stays under and it's not showing. Okay, the last one. Our bow is ready. So this is the bow that we've made for our hair ruffle. So now we're going to be making the hair ruffle. So we're going to go back to our fabric and we will cut a strip that we are going to use for just enough to, by the time you stick it together or sew it together, is fine. So this is good. So this is what we're going to use. What you need to do is to cut it into a very long rectangle, and then you have to sew this all the way down. Okay, so we'll do that now. Okay, so we're finishing up our stitches, and to close this last bit, we're going to need the elastic to make our scrunchie. What we're going to have to do is take the elastic. So if this is the whole length, of the scrunchie, you only need like 3/4 of it, so that by the time you pull it, it will become the scrunchie. So this is the this is the whole length of it. We don't need all this, it'll be too much. So we'll cut up to here. So what we're going to do is that as we're closing the stitch here, we will put this. But before you put it, you need safety pin. You need a safety pin to put at the edge of this, because that's what you're going to need to pull it. So you use the safety pin and you just put this inside. But before that, we'll put this here. So this is it. We're closing the stitch. This is the end. We're closing the stitch. So to make it stronger, we'll take it, after you finish the stitch here, you take it back all the way again. And then we finish our stitch here and put it back inside. Okay, so you cut it. Then what you need to do is you need to turn this around. I usually just use I usually just use the pair of scissors. So you need to put it on one side. It's stuck to this side is free, and then you turn it around. Okay, this, and then you pull it out. Then you find your elastic and pull it out. You find it with the, remember we use the safety pin. And there it is. So to finish it now, we will join this to this. So we can cut this off because we now know what we need. We don't need this much. So there we have it. We have our scrunchie. But remember, we still have this bow. So we're going to stick our bow to our scrunchie. We're done with our remember to tighten a knot. And there it is. So this is our scrunchie. Nice with a big bow. So remember, it depends on how big you want your bow to be. I wanted mine really big. So our scrunchie is ready. A good time because we had a lot of fun, and we hope you've learned a lot. Show us what you've made by tagging us on social media at GT Bank. Have a happy Children's Day!